Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. My name is RJ Steenstra. I'm the President and CEO of PortsToronto, owner and operator of Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport. On behalf of the entire team at the airport here, including our concessionaires, our partners, our stakeholders, we want to say a big welcome to you all. I would like to begin by just acknowledging that this morning we are located on the traditional waters and territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. Toronto is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. PortsToronto also recognizes that Toronto is covered by Treaty 13, signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit Nation in 1805. Let me just begin by just saying that I would like to pay a special welcome this morning to the Honorable Anita Anand, President of our Treasury Board and recently appointed Minister of Transportation, Ambassador David Cohen, and Undersecretary Robert Silver has joined us as well. Welcome to us, all of whom will deliver remarks in a moment. I would also like to thank the many teams and officials from both Canada and the United States who are here with us today, including Mr. Baxter Hunt, U.S. Consul General in Toronto, and a significant champion of preclearance and other initiatives here in Toronto that benefit bilateral relations. I would also like to welcome James Maloney, MP from Etobicoke Lakeshore, who's joined us. And we have additionally our board chairs for Nieuport that have joined us, as well from PortsToronto, and you'll hear from Sandra later in the event. Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport is the 9th busiest airport in Canada and the 5th busiest airport serving the United States. So we are particularly excited to be welcoming U.S. preclearance to our airport. As you may know, Billy Bishop Airport is celebrating 85 years this year. Opening its doors in 1939, Billy Bishop Airport was built by PortsToronto's predecessor agency, the Toronto Harbour Commission, alongside Malton Airport, which went on to become Pearson International Airport. Today, Billy Bishop Airport welcomes millions of passengers each year and serves more than 20 destinations through its world-class and award-winning airlines, Porter Airlines and Air Canada. And I should mention we have Bob DeLutz here as well from Porter Airlines. Thank you for joining us, Mr. DeLutz. Located just 3 kilometers from downtown, Billy Bishop Toronto Airport regularly wins awards for its unique, efficient, and customer service offering. It also regularly wins the hearts of our passengers with a satisfaction rating of 98% among those passengers, and is highly regarded among Torontonians, with 78% believing the airport is a valuable asset for the city of Toronto. This value promises to increase with the start of preclearance here at Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport, as it will enable access to more markets in the U.S., it will create jobs, it will further enhance the passenger experience by leveraging technology and our award-winning approach to travel to support bilateral trade and tourism for both Canada and the United States. It has been a decade-long journey to get to this point, and we are absolutely thrilled to be recognizing the introduction of preclearance with you here today. It is now my pleasure to invite Neil Pakey, President and CEO of Nieuport Aviation, to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Thank you, RJ. Put the mic down just a little. Thank you, RJ, and hello, everybody. My name is Neil Pakey, President and CEO of Nieuport Aviation, and we own and operate and manage the passenger terminal here at the airport, so it's a very exciting development for us as well, and together with our partners PortsToronto, we are very happy with today's event. Let me begin by echoing RJ's words of welcome and thanks to the Honourable Anita Anand, Ambassador David Cohen, Under Secretary Robert Silvers, and many other officials from both Canada and the United States here with us today. The fact that you've taken the time to be with us underscores the importance of pre-clearance, which will result in a host of growing benefits for Toronto, for Ontario, for Canada, for the economies of both sides of the border, and for our citizens, our passengers. Updated research indicates strong potential following the introduction of pre-clearance, in line with the airport's existing managed growth strategy, including an economic impact that could reach 5.3 billion Canadian dollars in annual GDP. Also, the potential of 215 million Canadian dollars in total annual tax revenue based primarily on direct on-site activities. We can anticipate up to 1,600 new on-site jobs. The introduction of a potential 10 plus US routes, including, I'm sure, some from Bob and Porter, and support for up to 32,000 jobs across the wider economy. Put simply, pre-clearance will allow us to more efficiently move more people to and through Toronto from an increasing number of US destinations, of particular importance, I would add, ahead of a global event like FIFA 2026, where our unique location downtown can get passengers from gate to game in 15 minutes. And I'm hopefully anticipating Canada versus Scotland, but there are those in the room here who might look forward to Canada versus Portugal, and certainly lots of other games as well. So the speculation begins and the excitement begins ahead of 2026, and to be part of that story is fantastic for everyone here. As we speak about Toronto and the US destinations that pre-clearance will open up, we can't forget about our friends in cities across Ontario like Sudbury, Sault Ste. Marie, Thunder Bay, Timmins, Windsor. The pre-clearance at this airport is a major benefit for the province of Ontario as a whole and further afield, given its potential to connect these cities to our neighbours in the south. I'm excited that pre-clearance will allow more people to learn about Toronto and Ontario and the diverse people who inhabit it, just as I'm excited for YTZ to be a jumping off point for Canadians and Canadian families looking to explore more US cities. Thank you again to our distinguished guests for joining us today and for everyone taking part in today's event. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sandra Pupatello. I'm delighted to be the chair of PortsToronto. Bienvenue à Toronto. Bienvenue à l'aéroport qui est si important à la ville de Toronto. I'm delighted to be here today to help welcome our guests that we brought today, and delighted to be here with the chair of Nieuport, who I know is here. We have found a way to work so well together. Jane Bird is here. Our two boards, it's a very unusual running of an airport, but because we work so well together, you can see the outcome, which is tremendous awards constantly handed to an airport for doing its job well. So congratulations to Nieuport, and certainly to all of the staff here at the port who worked so well to make that happen. I'm here today to introduce our minister, a new minister for transportation, and this I think may be her first announcement as Minister of Transportation. Minister Anita Anand, who is the president of Treasury Board, a lawyer by trade. She represents the riding of Oakville, not that far away. She is days into her new role here as Minister of Transport, and we're thrilled to have her. The insight and experience she brings, and understanding how critical transportation is to the livelihood of cities and the economy, and understanding that this is a key piece of trade infrastructure that we are announcing another step forward today this is the perfect first announcement for our Minister of Transportation. Following that minister, we're going to hear from His Excellency Ambassador David Cohen. Before his appointment by President Biden, a unanimous confirmation by the U.S. Senate as U.S. Senator, Dr. David L. Cohen served as senior advisor to the CEO at Comcast Corporation, so well understanding the needs of business and people for a place like Billy Bishop Airport. And finally, we're going to hear from Robert Silvers, nominated by President Biden and confirmed by the Senate as the Undersecretary for Policy in August of 2021. Robert is responsible for driving Department of Homeland Security direction across all of its missions, including counterterrorism, cybersecurity, AI safety, border security, immigration, international affairs, a range of law enforcement activities, and trade and economic security. I would say he's as busy as our new Minister of Transportation. We are delighted that he has joined us today, and we understand that Robert has been a driving force to move this project forward to bring us here today as well. Delighted that Baxter Hunt is here with us, who is our ambassador on the ground every day as our Consul General. We're delighted that you could join us. And of course, James Maloney, well known to many of us in government and outside of government, who's been a stalwart and supporter for us here at the island. We're delighted that you've joined us here today, James, as well. So please, with no further ado, our Minister of Transport, Anita Anand.
Well, thank you so much, Sandra. Bonjour tout le monde. C'est un grand plaisir d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui. I want to also thank RJ and Neil, Undersecretary Rob Silver, Baxter Hunt, Ambassador Cohen, and everyone here. I'm just thrilled to be at Billy Bishop today as my first announcement as Minister of Transport. I'm 8 days into the job, that's counting weekends, and I'm excited to hit the ground running. Now I realize almost every analogy I already use pertains in some way to transportation. So let's keep the train on the tracks, let's keep the ships moving, and let's keep the trains on time. So listen, it's no secret that Canada's airports play a central role in our country's productivity, in keeping Canadians with each other and with their families, and ensuring that businesses and families that have cross-border relations can continue to operate with ease, agility, and efficiency. Billy Bishop is an important gateway to the United States, but also to the GTA. It works both ways. And above and beyond the GTA, we need to talk about Ontario, and we need to talk about our incredible country of Canada, and the importance that Billy Bishop plays as a hub, as a nexus for travel across our country and of course with the United States. So we want to see this airport succeed, we want to see this airport grow, and we want to see demand being met. And that's why last summer we announced an investment of up to $30 million to build a new preclearance facility right here at Billy Bishop for travelers heading to the United States. Notre gouvernement travaille fort pour soutenir nos aéroports en investissant dans leurs infrastructures et leur développement. And this airport is particularly important because it is the first new preclearance facility to be built in Canada in 10 years. Preclearance facilities allow travelers headed to the U.S. to be pre-cleared by customs. That in turn reduces wait times, and it makes for a better travel experience. And when I said to my husband this morning what I was coming to do here at Billy Bishop, unlike in previous portfolios, he was all guns a-blazing, ready for me to go down and announce this because he's and like so many other Canadians, are so invested in efficient travel, in productivity growth, and in convenience for travelers. J'aimerais remercier nos partenaires américains pour le rôle qu'ils ont joué dans cette installation qui va réduire les temps d'attente et améliorer l'expérience des passagers. L'installation est encore une fois un symbole du partenariat de sécurité entre nos deux pays. And as our neighbors and friends, Americans and Canadians travel frequently for business, tourism, and trade. As someone who often flies through this airport myself, I know how great it is to be able to get downtown quickly. And I know how important it is for businesses and families, and so many of my caucus colleagues, including the wonderful James Maloney, Member of Parliament for Etobicoke Lakeshore, who's here with us this morning. Can we give James a big hand for his work and advocacy for the Billy Bishop Airport? James, thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for the many conversations we have had and will continue to have about Billy Bishop. We know that this new facility is going to address demand. It's going to make Billy Bishop even more important for travelers. Once the new facility opens, if all goes well, as early as next fall, travelers will find things even more seamless, even more efficient. And I would like to take a moment as well, in particular, to thank Ambassador Cohen and Rob Silver for your work tirelessly to make sure that on the U.S. side we could get this done. We are so grateful to you, and we are so grateful to our American partners. I want you to know that the growth of our economy, the success and efficiency of air travel, and the connectivity offered by Billy Bishop in particular are one of my top priorities, and I will continue to work extremely hard across our government and across our country to ensure that these goals are met. Thank you so much for being here today.
I will adjust the microphone to David height as opposed to Anita height. So good morning, everyone, and thanks for this fantastic turnout for what's really an important and exciting announcement. So as we approach the Thanksgiving season, we're less than a month from Canadian Thanksgiving and about 2 months from U.S. Thanksgiving, I also want to start with some thanks. And I'll start by thanking PortsToronto and Nieuport Aviation for being great partners and for undertaking the infrastructure modifications needed to bring preclearance to Billy Bishop at long last. I'd also like to thank Minister Anand, actually the entire Canadian government, a number of her minister colleagues, members of Parliament. James, good to see you again, for the Government of Canada's commitment of up to $30 million for the capital expenditure associated with this important investment, and with the speedy federal governmental approvals that were necessary to make this happen. I have to say that as I've listened to all the people who have been introduced and thanked this morning, I think I've met with virtually every single one of them, most going back almost 3 years when I first arrived here. And there was one consistent message in every single one of those meetings, which is we need preclearance at Billy Bishop. And so it's particularly thrilling to be here in person today, to be able to help announce the approvals of that and the infrastructure investment that's necessary to make that happen. So in my nearly 3 years as the United States Ambassador to Canada, one overarching and consistent theme has emerged: that the United States and Canada can rely on each other based on our enduring friendship and long history of working together. Business and recreational travel are a vital conduit for this strong relationship. And today's announcement is a reaffirmation of our country's commitment to ensuring safe and efficient travel and trade across our shared border. Billy Bishop Airport serves as an important gateway for travel between the United States and Canada, a key enabler of the $3.4 billion Canadian, $2.5 billion U.S. per day in goods and services traded between our two countries, creating millions of jobs on both sides of the border. Preclearance will provide Billy Bishop Airport passengers with the opportunity to clear customs in Toronto rather than upon landing at U.S. airports, which eliminates a major delay in many travelers' itineraries. For someone who travels as much as I do, I'm obviously a big fan of the convenience of preclearance. But the truth is that preclearance is both a security and a travel facilitation program offering a wide range of benefits. It gives travelers greater choice, convenience, and efficiency. It makes airports less congested and offers airlines opportunities to expand to new routes. And it gives our communities enhanced security and increased economic activity. And what better time to realize this benefit than in the lead up to FIFA's 2026 World Cup, where Toronto will host many matches. FIFA 2026 is expected to be the world's largest sporting event ever. It's a perfect example of how preclearance will speed travel for the estimated 5 to 6 million people who will travel back and forth across the Canada-U.S. border to watch soccer matches. Being able to clear customs before they leave Canada can be the difference between making it to the match in time for the kickoff, you heard, 15 minutes from Billy Bishop to the pitch. Or it can make the difference between being willing to travel to the match or staying home and watching it on television. So in sum, this is a big win, 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 win. It's a win for Billy Bishop in Canada, it's a win for the United States, it's a win for travelers, and it's a win for security. So thank you all for coming today, and a special thanks, if I can, because this is my first appearance with Minister Anand in her new role as Minister of Transport in a Canadian way. She has a new role, but she didn't give up her old role, so she's still president of the Treasury Board. And one of my great delights as ambassador has been the opportunity to work together with the minister on so many occasions. I did say to her this morning, though, that I can't promise her an announcement like this every week, that she's Minister of Transport, but what a great start. And so again, thanks very much for joining us today for this important announcement.
Thank you so much. It is wonderful to be here today standing with our distinguished Ambassador to Canada, David Cohen, my colleagues from U.S. Customs and Border Protection, one of the finest law enforcement organizations in the world, and leadership from Transport Canada, Mr. Anand, Canada Public Safety, as well as the airport authorities. And it is really remarkable. This will be the first pre-clearance expansion in Canada since 2006. And Billy Bishop will become the 9th Canadian airport to have pre-clearance operations. Pre-clearance is a partnership through which the Canadian and U.S. governments authorize Customs and Border Protection to station personnel at airports to complete customs and agricultural inspections of travelers before they board their flights bound for the United States. Travelers love it. When they arrive in the United States, they can bypass the customs and security inspection process, saving valuable time as they proceed directly to their connecting flights or onward to their destination. Pre-clearance also has wonderful safety and security benefits. It allows us to screen individuals prior to boarding a flight which means we are able to identify any threats or prohibited items earlier along in the process. Pre-cleared travelers can accept tighter connection windows at U.S. airports, so it opens up opportunities for faster travel. It also opens up opportunities for new routes. And that is how economic activity, how people-to-people exchanges, how cultural integration, how families can come together across borders more easily, how business can get done more easily. And if you think about the close, enduring, centuries-old partnership and friendship between the United States and Canada, pre-clearance is really a microcosm of all that it entails in terms of our countries, our people, our economies, our businesses, our cultural institutions, and indeed our governments coming together. And that is why it is so wonderful to be here to announce that we are further expanding this program. Readying a new location for pre-clearance operations is no small feat. It involves agreements between our government, the Canadian government, and the airport authorities and others, operational plans, working with airport owners and operators to build and support the necessary infrastructure, and the institution of certain security requirements. It is a lot of work, but what you see here on stage and around us in the audience is a team of people that came together to do all that and bring this vision, which is over a decade in the making, of bringing pre-clearance to Billy Bishop, to make it a reality that we can announce today, which is just so fantastic. I would like to thank Transport Canada, Public Safety Canada, Toronto Ports, and Nieuport Aviation for their terrific partnership as we've done all of that. As Ambassador Cohen said, this is one of those win-win situations. It's a win for the United States, it's a win for Canada, it's a win for the traveling public, it's a win for this airport, it's a win for our businesses, it's a win for the airlines, and that is really remarkable. It is a good news story, and we're delighted to be a part of it. Thank you to all of our partners. We look forward to this facility being completed with the infrastructure investments by the end of 2025, and before long to serving the traveling public through our pre-clearance operations. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Undersecretary Silvers. Appreciate that. With that, we're going to conclude the formal portion of this event. I would like to thank Minister Anand for joining us today, Ambassador Cohen for joining us today, and Undersecretary Silvers for joining us today. Thank you very much for your support. And of course, everyone here that's in the atrium, we really do thank you for coming out. And as our guests have said, there are many people that have been involved in this process over the last 10 years, and I would like to, just as a final conclusion, recognize the teams that were all involved behind the scenes in getting this done. And so for that, we do thank you all. Okay? This is a significant milestone in our journey to bring pre-clearance to Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport. We are going to remain here for any questions from the media and or our guests. And once again, thank you for joining us. We can't wait to welcome you back for our ribbon cutting in the near future. Thank you again. The future is bright for Billy Bishop Toronto City Airport. Thank you very much.